Hi, boys and girls. You know, I've been thinking about NASA and the people who work there. My friend Mike, who went to Purdue with me, works for NASA, and he's an engineer. And so I started to think about like what Mike might do when he's at NASA. What kind of a job is he doing? And it made me think about the Rovers. You know, somebody had to engineer or create the Rovers. They had to build them. First, they had to have an idea about what they wanted that rover to do, and then they had to figure out how to make it do that. There are a lot of steps in that process. I think this week that we've watched videos and we've seen that the rovers have to be moved into space. It takes months to get to Mars. So, you know, they had to design a way to get the rover to Mars. Then when it got to Mars, they had to figure out a way to land it. We watched a few videos, like the first one, they had it like surrounded by all those airbags. And then they changed the design and they used the wheels and like, you know, blast to kind of slow it down, and little parachutes and all kinds of stuff to slow things down. There's a lot of movement in that. So you have to kind of design a way to get it there, and then you have to decide what it's going to do when you get there. And so it made me think a lot about two things that kindergartners have to know. The first one is force and motion. We're going to start by talking about motion. Motion is a word that means movement. You know, if I were to walk out to the playground right now, there's a swing set out there. And the swings are sitting still because there are no kids out right now. So the swings are just still. Now, if I go out there and I sit in a swing and I step back and I jump in the chair, and it starts going back and forth, I caused motion or movement in that swing. The swing could be sitting still and the wind blows. The wind pushes the swing and causes motion. When there is an object or a thing and a force acts upon it, it causes motion. So think about your Hot Wheel cars. Maybe you have a Hot Wheel car. Here, I'll draw. We're going to make it pink. So I have a little car, and I play with this little car in my bedroom, but it's sitting on my dresser right now. Is there any motion? No. But I can apply force with my hand. I can put my hand on the car and make the car go into motion. My hand is the force. I can push the car or I can pull the car. So push or pull. When I have my car sitting there, it's not in motion. But when I apply force, I use my hand and push, or I pull, then I am acting upon the car. Force is acting on the car when it's being pushed or pulled, and it's causing the car to go into motion. So I started thinking about force and motion and rovers. You know, I'm hoping that you are doing some scientist thinking. Thinking like scientists. Scientific thinking. Let's just think about step one of a rover. Let's say this is, you know, my step one. I gotta get the rover somehow into space. How would you do that? And that's my question for you today. How would you get your rover into space? What force would you use to get your rover into space, to move it, to cause motion? You know, a lot of times kids are like, well, I just turned the ignition and my key on my car. But when your car is started, there are like little explosions in the engine that cause things to move. So there's a whole system there. But I want you to be thinking today, how would you move a rover from here on Earth to Mars? I made some videos, or I found some videos below that show you some different ideas. Now, these are small ideas, but the information in these small ideas applies. What do you think you could do? You know, like a car, when you have gas in the engine, that gas is fuel. It goes to the engine and it makes a little explosion and it causes some stuff to go. You know, if you have a balloon and you blow it up, that gas, just think about all these different things. I'm going to just show you some videos for some experiments that you might try at home. And I want you to be just using some time to think about how maybe some of these ideas could help you get a rocket into space. Today we're just kind of doing some scientific thinking. I really do kind of hope that you do some of these experiments below, but if you don't, at least watch the videos and learn about some ideas. Bye.